Remember when the Zombie Strike line started up and this bad boy came out and it became everyone's favorite sidearm? Well, it became my favorite sidearm. I don't know about you, but it became a pretty popular sidearm. Doomlands answer. Oh, that's big. What's up, YouTube? Graver here, and welcome back after a little hiatus because I have broken my promise on Back to Basics, and I am sorry about that. Unfortunately, we've hit a cold spell in New Jersey where it was very hard to work in the workshop, and I just unfortunately haven't been able to get out here, but hopefully you will notice a couple of upgrades I have made to the channel as an I'm sorry, and after 5 years it was kind of needed. I have a new camera, and I have an actual dedicated microphone now because the camera microphone was absolutely atrocious, so I needed something to record audio with. So there is that. You will also notice this, which is a bookshelf, and that's not the exciting thing. The stuff on it, I find kind of exciting because it's a bunch of stuff I've been collecting over the last few years, but it's been at work. And no, I did not lose my job. Unfortunately, they're renovating the office that I was in, but I'm also losing my office because they're going to an open floor plan. So I have really no place else to keep this stuff, so it had to come home. And thankfully, I was nice enough to actually get a piece of office furniture, which was the bookshelf that housed everything. So there is that. But now on to what we're all here for, and that is the review of this, the Doomlands 2169 Negotiator. Now, this is the hammer-primed 8-round revolver that Doomlands is adding to the series, and you will notice the color scheme went back to the original Doomlands colors, and not, I want to say, I think it was the Arctic flavor or whatever the Desolator and the Lawgiver were. It went back to the clear plastic, not the clear orange plastic, the yellowish orange paint scheme, and the ton of orange accent and the black handles and grips. Now, one difference is, though, normally with the clear portion, it's mirrored on the opposite side of the blaster with a gray portion, but this does not actually have that. However, though, this is a big boy. Yeah, this is really big. It's honestly, in my opinion, it's a little unnecessarily big because I have a hammer shot here, which we've been able to, and I mean the nerfing community, have created 3D printed cylinders to replace the 5-shot that came with this to actually house 8 darts. Or at least up to 8 darts. There have been 6, 7, and 8 dart cylinders. Or if you play with Boomco ones, there's a 10 dart Boom Tendo cylinder, so there is that. However, this is the size of the hammer shot. This is the size of the Negotiator. You can see why we were a little perturbed by this. Now, I did do some size comparisons, and unfortunately, you can just by looking right straight ahead, the cylinder for the Negotiator, unfortunately, ruins all my plans, is not going to fit into the hammer shot. So transplanting these cylinders into hammer shots ain't going to work without doing some extensive shell work on these things. So unfortunately there's that. But looking at the externals of this blaster, we do have a bit of a profile here where, I don't know, it might be able to work if we can minimize the shell. This does have one tack rail, which I'd be more than willing to lose if I can cut this off. And yeah, because you want to put an optic on here and make this thing even bigger. And I'm willing to lose the fork rip. It's totally fine with me. But we don't know what's inside this thing. We don't know how hollow it is. Maybe there are some cut lines we can use. But let's get this over to the bench. We'll open it up. We'll see what we're working with it on the inside. And then we'll get back to my final thoughts. Okay, so as always, for sake of time, I have opened up, I haven't opened it up, but I've taken out all the screws already. So let's open this up and see what we're dealing with. Oh my god, there's so much dead space. Okay, well, on the plus side, for paint jobs, the black pieces on the, well, this one's kind of stuck, but, everything kind of separates out, so, you know, painting it will be good. So, I mean, everything separates from the shell, the orange, the black, and the yellowish orange, so that's good. But, oh man, look at they, seriously, Hasbro, I don't know what in the sweet mercy of God you were thinking. There did not need to be this much wasted space in this blaster. This did not need a little foregrip. You could have easily just lined it right here and right there with the hammer shot, and this would have been the perfect sidearm. But no, you did this. And I really don't know what else to say. I mean, internally, it's your basic hammer shot and every other hammer fed in or hammer primed internal blaster there is, very similar to the hammer shot, the Sweet Revenge, the Lawbringer. The hammer and all this stuff goes to the plunger. You have that. This is actually a little new, where the rotation action is actually covered on this side, but if you turn it around you can kind of see it right there, but it is still actually covered up. So that's about like the big difference on internals here. But other than that, this shell is just so god awfully atrocious. But let's close this up and I'll give you my final thoughts on it. Okay, so final thoughts on this thing. I wanted to like this so much. I really, really did. But because of the fact, and I measured it off camera, but I swear to you, I really did measure it. Between the fact that from here to here and here to here, there's almost 3.5 inches of wasted plastic and space for no reason whatsoever. I actually truly dislike this blaster. It is extremely bulky for what it is. This would have made a great sidearm if they gave it this profile. And we know you can do an 8-shot cylinder in here, because I have one on my way from Gavin Fuzzy. I have a 7-round cylinder in here. This 8-round turret did not need to be this big. You could have shrunk it down, fit it into something like the the hammer shot. Sold it at the same price, because this is retailing for about what the hammer shot is. And you would have made money, because I seriously would have replaced all of my hammer shots with these if it was that size. But because it's just a mini version of the Lawbringer, I can't bring myself to liking it. Even if it was even the turret size. The turret size is what's also getting me, because the turret is too big to transplant into a hammer shot. I would have bought these just for that alone, because it would have been proper Nerf, like specification sized 8-round cylinders that you could put into a hammer shot, rather than the 3D printed ones, which, depending on who you get them from, can be a hit or miss. But they would cost about $15-20 depending on where you get them from, unless you happen to have a 3D printer. Which means I literally could have just bought these things, chucked the shell, kept the cylinder, put it in a hammer shot, and still been fine with the same money I would have spent on getting a 3D printed one. This is honestly going to be my only Negotiator. I am not going to buy another one of these. This is the only one I am going to own. I'll do something cool with it just for the sake of it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it after that, but I'm still going to get my hammer shots, and if I want more rounds, I'll just get 3D printed cylinders from like Gavin Fuzzy or something. So that's my review of the Negotiator. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in for this episode, and let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. What do you think of the Negotiator? Is it way too big? Do you like the size of it? Could they have done something different? But I also want to say thank you everyone for, watching my channel. It's been a long road. I've actually been at this for a little over 5 years as of September. And I'm actually going to be coming up on my 100th video. So yay on me. And I want to do something special for you guys. I don't know if I want to do a Q&A video. If there's enough interest in it, I'll definitely do one. If not, I'll try and do some kind of special video. I don't know if it's going to be a comedy thing or maybe an Arsenal video or finally that workshop tour, because I got a lot more stuff I can show off now. But I'll think of something, and I'll think of it, and I'll bring it up again when I get a little closer to actual video 100. But thank you very much for watching, and as always, if you like this video, throw me a like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time. Later.